They say old houses have memories, that the walls soak up the lives lived within them. I never believed it, not until I moved into the Blackwood house. It was a steal, an old Victorian place on the outskirts of town that nobody wanted. The realtor was vague, mentioning something about the previous family leaving in a hurry. I didn't care. I was just happy to have a place of my own. The first few weeks were normal. Unpacking boxes, painting walls, the usual stuff. Then the little things started. A door creaking open when I knew I'd shut it. A faint whisper, like the rustle of dry leaves, just at the edge of my hearing. I brushed it off as an old house settling, my mind playing tricks on me. But it was the attic that truly unnerved me. The air up there was different. Heavy, cold, and carrying a scent I couldn't place. It smelled sweet, almost like decaying flowers. In the far corner, half buried under a dusty tarp, I found a small wooden rocking horse. It was beautifully carved, but its painted eyes seemed to follow me. I left it there, a strange sense of dread washing over me. One night, I woke up to a sound. Thump, thump, thump. It was coming from upstairs, from the attic. My heart hammered against my ribs. I told myself it was just a branch hitting the roof, but the rhythm was too steady, too deliberate. Thump, thump, thump. It sounded like something rocking. Back and forth, back and forth. I crept out of bed and grabbed a heavy flashlight from my nightstand. My hand trembled as I climbed the stairs, each creak of the floorboards amplifying the silence. The attic door was slightly ajar. I knew I had closed it. I pushed it open, the beam of my flashlight cutting through the oppressive darkness. The air was freezing. The sweet, cloying smell was stronger than ever. And there, in the center of the room, was the rocking horse. It was slowly, rhythmically, rocking on its own. Thump, thump, thump. My breath hitched in my throat. As my light landed on it, it stopped. The silence that followed was somehow more terrifying than the sound itself. I slammed the attic door shut, bolted it, and ran back to my room, not sleeping for the rest of the night. The next day, I tried to rationalize it. A draft, uneven floorboards. Anything but the truth. My gut was screaming at me. The activity escalated. I'd hear a child's laughter echoing from empty hallways. Toys I didn't own would appear in the middle of a room. A single marble, a worn-out teddy bear. I started seeing shadows in my peripheral vision, fleeting shapes that would vanish the moment I turned to look. I was constantly on edge, the house a prison of my own making. I decided to do some research. A trip to the local library's archives revealed the dark history of the Blackwood house. Decades ago, a family lived there, the Millers. They had a young son named Thomas. The newspaper articles were brief, reporting a tragic accident. Thomas had fallen from the attic window. He loved to play up there, especially with his favorite rocking horse. The articles didn't mention that the family had reported strange occurrences before his death. They claimed their son was talking to an imaginary friend, a shadow boy, who lived in the walls. They said this friend would get angry, that it would move things and whisper terrible things to Thomas. No one believed them. After Thomas died, the family fled, just like the realtor said. A cold realization washed over me. I wasn't alone. And whatever was here wasn't the spirit of a little boy. It was something else, something that had been here long before. That night, the house was alive with noise. The rocking horse was going frantic in the attic, the thumping so violent it shook the ceiling. A child's weeping came from just outside my bedroom door. "Let me in," a small voice sobbed. "He's chasing me. Please, let me in." It sounded so real, so desperate. My hand went to the doorknob, but then another sound joined the weeping. A low, guttural growl that seemed to vibrate through the very foundation of the house. It was the sound of pure malice. The child's voice changed. The weeping stopped, replaced by a cold, flat tone. "He doesn't want you here," it said. The doorknob began to rattle violently. I backed away, my heart seizing with terror. The growling grew louder, closer. I knew I had to get out. I wasn't going to be another story whispered about in the town library. I scrambled to my window, fumbling with the lock. The rattling on my door stopped. An unnerving silence fell over the house. Then a new sound, a slow, deliberate scratching. It wasn't coming from the door. It was coming from inside my room, from the wall behind my bed. Scratch, scrape, scratch. I turned, my flashlight beam shaking. On the floral wallpaper, dark, slender lines were appearing as if being carved from the other side. They formed a shape. A tall, impossibly thin figure with long limbs and a head that was just a suggestion of a face. The Shadow Boy. The wall began to bulge outwards, the plaster cracking. The sweet, rotting smell filled my lungs, choking me. The figure was pushing its way through. I didn't wait to see what would happen next. I smashed the window with the flashlight, not even feeling the glass cut my hands. I scrambled out onto the porch roof, slid down the drain pipe, and ran. I ran, and I didn't look back. I left everything behind. My clothes, my furniture, my memories. None of it was worth it. I never went back to that town. Sometimes, late at night when the house is quiet, I can still hear it. The faint thump, thump, thump of a rocking horse. And I wonder who will be the next to ignore the whispers, to dismiss the shadows in the Blackwood house. I hope they get out in time, because the Shadow Boy is always waiting for a new friend to play with, forever.